protect the banks. This is because the Henan branch of the Bank of China is declaring that people's savings in their own branch are now investment products and cannot be withdrawn. This clip shows a long queue of tanks preventing locals from reaching the bank branch, and as the camera pans right now, the tank queue is seen covering the entire block. The locals look agitated, but they're forced to wait because of the presence of armed vehicles. The banks. This is because the Henan branch of the Bank of China is declaring that people's savings in their own branch are now investment products and cannot be withdrawn. This clip shows a long queue of tanks preventing locals from reaching the bank branch, and as the camera pans right now, the tank queue is seen covering the entire block. The locals look agitated, but they're forced to wait because of the presence of armed vehicles.
Conferences in recent history, the sitting president of the United States announced today that he has cancer. Now, traditionally, it's the job of the White House physician to update the public on significant changes to the president's health. But in a striking and honestly poignant break with protocol, Joe Biden decided to drop the bracing news himself. Here he is.
That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer, and why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
I have cancer, Joe Biden said, and I got it from growing up in Delaware. And with that, Biden left the stage, taking no questions about his condition. What kind of cancer does Joe Biden have? What is his long-term prognosis? And is Delaware really that bad? Parts of it are not beautiful, that is true, but can an entire state be a carcinogen? At this point, we can't say. We are hearing word tonight that Biden may have misspoken, rattled no doubt by the stress of his diagnosis. It is likely that, in fact, it's not cancer Joe Biden is battling, but dementia. Simple mistake. We'll get an update from our own in-house physician, Dr. Mark Siegel, in just a moment. But first, no matter what is wrong with Joe Biden, and something clearly is, it has not prevented him from working to amass more power than any American president has ever had. Joe Biden's latest idea is that he, personally, is the only branch of government in the United States. No more separation of powers. Joe Biden has all the power. If the Congress, the Supreme Court, does something that Joe Biden doesn't like, he gets to simply ignore it and then do what he wants to do. And he can do this because it's an emergency. There's no time for democracy. We've got an emergency on our hands, and naturally, only Joe Biden can solve it. We don't have enough abortions. It's an emergency. You're not wearing a mask alone in your car. It's an emergency. Your kids aren't trans yet. It's an emergency. And of course, the emergency to top all emergencies,
to live with the Homo sapiens in a way where we don't, they don't affect us, we won't affect them, kind of like in a separation type of way.
I don't know what a Homo sapien is. If they're going extinct, that's very sad, but at the end of the day, I don't care.
It's not the fact that I don't like Homo sapiens, it's just that we've always lived without him, so we don't know anything at all.
Have you ever seen a Homo sapien?
You don't want to know. Yeah, I saw one once at the zoo.
Describe it.
Furry.
Yep.
Big.
Mm-hmm.
Gorilla looking. He was picking his whatchadilly.
He was?
Yeah.
I've never seen one do that.
Well, I did.
Homo sapiens. Let them die. Save the humans.